Okay, wait. Before you dislike the video and go on a massive rant in the comments, at least allow me to make my argument before casting any form of judgment. Now, I am someone who has, to a degree, followed Has-Been and Helluva since they both came out, so I know the contents of both shows fairly well. This video, however, is about two characters within the web series Helluva Boss, Blitz and Stolas. More specifically, the relationship between them and how it's becoming less and less moral and viable over time. Now, I'm not the first to make such a brave statement, but I would like to share my opinion on the topic. First of all, a wonderful thing that was pointed out on the video, in quotations, Stolas is a good father, by Galaxy, was as follows.
I cannot believe that I have never seen anyone call this out before. Like, I don't understand how people can be like, wow, Stolitz is such a good dad after he's done this shit. Like, how is this okay? You are literally dirty talking your sex partner when you know that your own child is in the room.
I completely agree with Galaxy on this. Not only does this make Stolas look like a terrible parent, but every intention in that conversation is sexual. Not to mention that this is also presenting Stolas to be someone who is only talking to Blitz for sexual reasons. If Stolas wanted to have a meaningful relationship with this person, he would not talk like this every single time he was talking to them. Anyways, let's begin with my thoughts. Starting with the beginning of the series, it is presented to us from the get-go that even though Stolas has a wife and daughter, he still chooses to sleep with another person. People's reasoning for this behaviour is mainly two things. One, Stolas and Stella are in an arranged marriage, and two, Stella was neglectful of Stolas, and some would even go as far to say that she was abusive. Although, while them being in an arranged marriage to keep the royal family going is true, and Stella is definitely neglectful towards Stolas, I don't think either of those reasons would justify in any way cheating on someone you're married to, especially when you are a father figure to your daughter. As we see in Season 1 Episode 2 Lululand, this has clearly negatively affected Octavia. Octavia is devastated that her father, the one person in her life that was always nice to her, has decided to, in her eyes, give the middle finger to the life that he had to pursue someone else while he was married to Octavia's mother, and rightfully so. Another flaw to bring up is how Stolas loves to indirectly make Blitz feel like shit. Exhibit A, which was something pointed out to me by sarcastic Chorus, is that at Aussies when Osmodius and Fizzarolli call out Stolas for going on a date with an imp, Stolas hides his face out of embarrassment instead of explaining the situation, defending himself, or defending Blitz. This reminded Blitz that he is just an imp and that he is nothing compared to Stolas, or so he thinks. As we see throughout the rest of the episode, this affected Blitz massively. In the episode Full Moon, Stolas uses his... what is that? Cloak? Cape? Fucking green screen effect? To teleport Blitz outside after they have an argument where Stolas had majorly miscommunicated what was going on between them, causing Blitz to get mad due to miscommunication. Now, I guess you could say that during the episode of Aussies, Blitz did the same thing by just leaving Stolas in front of his house. But then, you'd just be supporting my point, and the two of them have major miscommunication issues that result in a domino effect of problems. This is also one of the biggest factors in my opinion to why this relationship can't work anymore. The story has been driven so there are so many problems and so much drama that a positive, healthy relationship would be too difficult to have. A huge problem with this relationship between the two is not even from the characters themselves but the writers of the show, so they will keep dragging out the drama between the two of them to keep the views up. On the other hand, you could argue that they have a plan with where their relationship is going, but at the same time, they could have planned it out to be unnecessarily long purely so people could keep watching. In an interview with Richard Horvitz, he says that Helluva Boss is a show about relationships.
People that don't know the show think it's only just about hell, sex, and profanity. But it's not. Both Has-Been and Helluva Boss. Helluva Boss in particular is about relationships.
However, if you want to create a show that succeeds in showing what a healthy relationship looks like, I don't see where Helluva succeeds. Stella and Stolas' relationship is a big grey area to say the least. Stolas is a terrible father to Octavia. I mean, Blitz even has an entire annual party dedicated to him where people meet up purely to hate on him, because how much of a shitty ex he is. The only relatively healthy relationship I can think of is Moxie and Millie. I guess there is also Ozzy and Fizzarolli, but even then, one of them is immortal and the other one isn't. However, they are happy at the moment, so it depends on how you look at it, I guess. Stolas and Blitz are both just another product of this flawed style of writing. The writers will create a conflict, drag the conflict out, and skip the resolution entirely. which results in a constant loop of cliffhangers and stretching out of the plot. This isn't keeping a show alive, rather a representation of how well they can write the show. Not only would the show convey better messages by wrapping up the conflicts in an amount of time that felt appropriate, but it would also make the content itself a lot more enjoyable to watch, as I have seen a lot of people get frustrated because of the pacing of the plot's progression. Overall, the relationship between Stolas and Blitz has been shaky to say the least from the beginning. Both parties have made terrible decisions, and have terrible communication issues because of their own personal lives. Stolas has little to no romantic social skills because everything he knows about love has either been from fiction romance on his television, or from his awful ex-wife. And Blitz has an inferiority complex that makes him believe that he is not worthy of anyone's time, let alone love and attention. This has caused both to create problems for themselves, as well as the writers creating more unnecessary problems purely to keep the viewers hooked, which has just resulted in frustration in the fandom, as well as showing impressionable fans of the show how not to deal with toxic relationship problems. It is a shame because in interviews, voice actors say over and over again how much Vivian cares about the characters.
When I first auditioned for it, I was like, oh, this is a fun part, right? Cute. Let's go for it. Let's audition and see what happens. But I don't think I knew how long he had lived in Vivian's heart.
And how much effort she puts into them. But it's fine. It's fine. At the end of the day, it's an animated show where the funny characters say the funny swear words and do the funny sex. So just watch the show if you like it, don't if you don't, and have a great day. See ya.